Could you please give us an update on how some of the conversations have progressed?
Yeah, so I was led to believe the club's agreed terms yesterday, and discussions are ongoing from that. But until such time, I'm going to. Spoke to Billy this morning, I went for breakfast with Billy Bow, and my focus is clearly on finishing this season with Kilmarnock. We've got 2 very important games still, and we want to try and finish the season as strong as possible. So that's where it's at. Try to be as transparent as possible. So there's ongoing discussions, but that's for others, and for me now it's just concentrating on tomorrow night's game at Motherwell.
How do you manage balancing your future and preparing for tomorrow night's game?
No, the preparation is for the tomorrow night's game. I think that lots of things can affect your focus, but your focus has got to be, and what's important at the minute is try to finish the season as strong as possible. I've had a good relationship with the owner. So you work for clubs, as managers you work for clubs, but you work for people within it, and I've had opportunities, good opportunities to leave Kilmarnock, and I've always tried to do the right thing. And for now, it's clearly it's so important for us to try. Can we finish 5 wins in a row? That would be some going. I don't think the club's done that since Bobby was here, Bobby Williamson. So in the top flight certainly, and it's important that we try and look towards that. Certainly a game tomorrow night in Motherwell. So I think once we got safe, which was very important for us, I thought the result on Saturday was, the performance was kind of a follow on from where we've been of late. It was a real highlight, the way the players celebrated with the supporters, that real sense of relief, and to be one of those teams that are now safe and just try and focus on winning the games. I do think playing with that edge has been good for us, to be honest. You would never encourage that. You don't want to be in a situation we were in, but it was not the gravity of the situation, but the importance of the situation to deal with. The boys have been magnificent with that. So, and I know tomorrow night there might be a sense where players could possibly relax. The message has been clear, but we want to try and make sure we finish the season with another win tomorrow night, and then we finish up last game of the season here on Sunday.
Do you expect to be in the dugout for the next 2 games, Derek?
I will be in the dugout next 2 games.
Next game, for
yeah,
sure.
Come on, yeah.
Derek, the club have agreed terms with Hearts. Do you want the job?
Guys, move on, please.
Move on to the game. Do you want the
Move on to the game, please.
The supporters will probably want to know if you want the job.
On
Just on Billy, if you would, obviously your relationship with Billy has been great. That's why I brought you here. It's a tricky situation, but how is he?
He's brilliant. Listen, we've got a strong relationship. I think that's always been key for me. having that strong relationship with the owner. He allows me to deal with it. He's busy with his own business. He's so important to the club. It's vitally important. Probably at times doesn't always get that credit, but without him, everything would be so much more difficult here. So we've had a good relationship, and that will continue. And it's important for me that if and when I leave Kilmarnock, that I'll still be able to shake his hand, we'll still be able to have a drink, we'll still be able to talk as openly as we do now. And it's important for me that, and like I say, I've always tried to put Kilmarnock first.
You said obviously you've secured Premiership status this season. You've done a lot as Kelly manager. Where does that rank? Obviously, Championship title, Europe, Premiership status. When you look back on it, where is that Premiership status for you?
From where we were a few weeks ago, it was was so much work to do. So it's not going to be a highlight. Everybody keeps saying to me it's been a disappointing season. I hear the narrative. I think it's been more a difficult season than a disappointing one. I think we'd still look for we're annoyed that we've not been able to get into the top 6, but we've no divine right for that. We have to do so much right to finish 4th last season. For a club like ourselves to do what we did last season, 56 points. I think you look at the teams at 3rd and 4th now. I think maybe Hibs in 56 now. For a club like Kilmarnock to have such a strong showing in the league, a lot of things need to be done right. To try and get something close to that season was always going to be tough, but we all had the confidence that we could. I think there was a lot of optimism at the start of the campaign, and I think that's probably maybe why when it doesn't materialise, there is that tinge of disappointment and frustration, and I get that. There's nobody is more annoyed about that than ourselves, but equally, I see how hard the players work. I see how much they care, and how much that has been evident really in the last wee while that we've managed to secure Premier League status again. And for us, the club is in a good place. You know, the reserves get beaten in the League Cup final. The 18s win the Scottish Youth Cup. We've got value on the pitch. We've got a good thing going here. You know, our time at Kilmarnock has been so enjoyable, and it's important that we try and enjoy the last couple of games.
Derek, there was really passionate scenes at the last week when you secured safety. Does that show just how much that achievement meant and how much this club means to you as a whole to do something like that?
It was passionate because I think we were all a sense of relief there, and I think it's important that you try and enjoy these moments. You know, I think back to a lot of the stuff you do that you actually achieve in your career. Sometimes you don't enjoy the moments enough. So listen, we've put the supporters through the ringer a wee bit this season, and there was no doubt the last few weeks there's been people kind of a wee bit of kind of anxiety and a wee bit worried about the situation. So we know how responsible we are to make people feel better. They work hard Monday to Friday. They turn up on a Saturday, want to see their team win. Now, come on, your team can't win every game, but you still want to try and deliver big highlights for the supporters. Saturday was a highlight because we were so good in the game. I mean, it wasn't typical games against Dundee. It was never straightforward, but we scored 3. We could have scored another 3, truth be told, and the performance was good. So it was just that outpouring of relief, really, and being able to celebrate with the supporters. The Player of the Year on Sunday night. The boys get their individual awards throughout the club, and the girls obviously as well, and the women's team. And it was good to be able to just have that sense of trying to enjoy an evening when you know you've secured Premier League status, because there's no doubt a lot of people would have been worried, a lot of people were concerned, and you know, I feel the full weight of responsibility of that. And obviously I'm judged on the performance of others, and my players have been brilliant the last wee while.
How difficult has the last few days been for you, Derek?
No difficult, no, fine. I think sometimes these things come along in life, and you know, I've always been open with the club. You know, I'm really enjoying my time here, and until such time something maybe can make you think twice about that, about maybe trying something else, you just concentrate on the job in hand. You know, I was informed just that the clubs had reached agreement and talks are ongoing with that, but I've also reiterated to the club today that I intend to be here for the last 2 games, and I need to make sure that message is loud and clear to my players, to everybody. We deal with what's in front of us now, and then we can pick up in anything else beyond that.
Any questions about Motherwell, please, guys?
Derek, you spoke about the success of the youth team and the reserve team. Is there any update in the fans if we'll see any of the young boys that won the cup in the last 2 games?
I would have liked to have played Ben Brannan, but obviously he was on loan at Inverness, and such is the way now that at this time of the season it should be a chance to be able to play in these games. Yeah, possibly. Cole Butt's in the squad for tomorrow, and there's 1 or 2 others who might feature, but also I want to make sure that young boys know they have to try and earn the right to get in the team, and I'm also wanting us to finish the season strong. So, but Cole and 1 or 2 others come into our thoughts, and Cole's in the squad for tomorrow night.
How's your team looking?
Kel McInnes is trained, and but we'll resist the temptation to involve him in this one. Brad Lyons will miss this one along with Joe Wright, but both have a chance for Sunday. Brad's probably got the better chance than Joe, to be honest. And I think that's everybody else. No more knocks from the weekend, and obviously I feel clean bill of health other than that, I think.
Have you had any conversations with the players?
Yeah. I spoke to the players regular on certain situations, but I always talk to my players.